But awesome who is always awesome?
Yes.
I don't think that's
I don't
too
care
long.
about the Department of Redundancy.
Exactly.
Maybe another word that starts with RE.
Not redundancy.
No. This is how we get cancelled. Don't let me say things.
I like when you say things.
I was going to say, according to Andi, we've been trying to be canceled for a long time, and it doesn't work.
I've been trying to be
but we're actually
fired for a
streaming,
while.
so I can get us banned on Twitch if you want.
No, please. I don't think we want to go quite that far, but yeah.
I mean, if you do
Well,
that, can I still get fired?
I don't know if you can get fired, Andi.
I've been trying. You know many other people who go around on social media making dick jokes about spaceships. I don't know why I'm not fired. That's what we have to put on Maddie's shirt. Always Right Matty, who is also awesome and right still. See, I fixed it. However, we're getting close to Halloween and we're back. And I think the topic was going to be, or is going to be, horror and RPGs, which ties really well into Urton. And one of the things I had mentioned that I thought would be interesting, and Maddie's probably going to be our expert in-house on this one. I feel like you can do horror and RPGs and what is horror and how much horror and all that we can talk about. But how do you do that in something like Aetherstream? Do you just make like a scary scenario? How's that going to work? And I would like to get to that if we do. And if not, we're gonna start with it next week because I'm really curious on how we make that happen. I have no voice because I'm pretending to be a drill sergeant part-time. It's interesting, and besides the point. But in case you're wondering, I did not start smoking or drinking whiskey every day. But I have been screaming at someone every day. Or he could just do a schoolwork, like whichever.
Wait.
I don't actually have a problem with whiskey, but I don't have that whiskey throat voice thing usually. And if whiskey is done right, there's absolutely no problem with it. But, I'm picky about alcohol.
Better whiskey throat than whiskey dick.
Oh, dude.
Very true.
Nobody likes a whiskey dick.
Nobody likes a whiskey dick.
Oh my God, that's our next campaign. Hashtag whiskey dick. No whiskey dick. At Ross.
No, you're not.
I am.
Oh, God.
I'm telling you, it's squirrels. Okay, I'm going to redirect the squirrels. Andi, you had asked Maddie about Aetherstream and horror, and then got distracted.
I don't think that's where we're going to start. I think that if I want to get there today, and if not, we're going to start next week with it. But you and I, when we were discussing the topic, I think the question that we were bouncing, I think is actually where we're going to start tonight's discussion, which is, how do we want to define horror? Like, so Urton has horrors, which are like elder, god, evil, monstery things. But is that horror or is that dark? Is there a difference between dark and horror? Is a monster in and of itself horror? What do you guys think? Where are you at? Where do you land for your table? And I know, Dire Sith, you don't usually talk, but you can type. And if I don't see it, Lady Styx or Mr. Pink will poke it or say something. I was going to say, don't all of you start talking at once. Shoot.
I have trouble with this one because I usually avoid horror like the plague. I don't play Paranoia. I don't play Cthulhu. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I just don't do the whole psychological aspect of it. But, I don't mind jump scare horror in games if you can pull it off, because it's almost near impossible to pull off.
I was going to say, it is very hard to pull off jump scare horrors in RPGs. It just... unless you have somebody hiding in the closet and you have the lights out and you're pretending to be spooky, and all of a sudden they jump out and with like, but then it's not in the RPG; it's just at the table.
Yeah, I think that for me, there's definitely things that I know in our conversations we've had, and you and I have had in the past, that you would just consider dark, that I would consider horror. But I'm like wimpy with that kind of stuff. I don't. No, you're right, Mr. Pink. Cthulhu is not jump scare horror. It is like I just don't. I have enough nightmares of my own. I don't like to play other people's nightmares. I'm good with that. Lord, Cthulhu is dread. It is existential dread, like drenching every molecule of your being. So I don't know. I think that for me, it's a really tough one. Where is that line between just something that's dark and is it just dark, or is it horror? Because for me, if it's got a certain amount of blood and guts with a backstory of murder, or which, a lot of times campaigns will, like, we're going to discover who the bad guy is or whatever, or who's killing so and so, or the whodunit type stuff could be definitely considered horror if it's gruesome enough. I don't know. I have a hard one with this. I'd love to hear other people's opinions.
So go ahead, Maddie.
I am probably the worst person to ask about horror because I don't do a lot of horror in my games either. Like, occasionally I will mess with my players by giving them dreams or just talking to them in the voice of God in character. But that's about as horror-y as I go.
I'm playing a World of Darkness game with Morgan in it. Morgan, who designed 4th edition system, right? And I'm such a wonderful, kind GM that his Fae sent him a present, and he opened it up, and it looked like a child's head that looked like a little boy that looked similar to him. But that's okay. He then realized that it was just a human heart. It wasn't the child's head. Aren't I nice?
Oh,
What?
okay,
You should hear the dreams I send him that she sends him.
Utsukushi. I hope I said that right. I'm not trying to. Commented. I mean, I'm not listening, but I can see it walking along the beach, admiring this. And said, suddenly Cthulhu rises up and devours you.
So
Thank
I
you.
love for 1879. I like drawing inspiration from actual history, because history is more fucked up than I ever seem to get. And some of the stuff that you would find horror, I just consider dark. Like, it's real. I didn't even have to add a whole lot of stuff to it. That's just real life, nasty, gritty, dark. So
yeah.
And the thing is like, here's the thing. If you look at how they label like movies, mostly, if it has a monster, it would be considered a horror movie because monsters are scary, right? Except we have monsters in tabletop gaming all the time, and we don't consider that scary. So I feel like in gaming, it's both a plus and a minus, because you can't just go, there's a vampire, and expect anyone to go boo. Like, okay, so what? Right? I have a spell for that, whatever the fuck you're going to say, right? There's this, oh, it's just a thunder beast. I'll go ride it. Like, it doesn't scare anybody. So if you're going to, you have to level higher. And gore isn't as, like, I like gore in movies, don't get me wrong, I do. But gore isn't a good level of deciding if something is actually horror or scary. But I want Mr. Pink to answer.
Yeah. He did comment on the boards. I love Hitchhiker's Guide. There is horror, but the end of your existence is located in a file drawer.
Japanese. Okay, so
And he
there
also-
What
is
part do you want me to answer?
all of it in alphabetical order, and don't forget semicolons.
and cited works. I'm sorry.
Semicolons are
Oh, I
important.
do not cite works. I mean, that I will admit that right now. I
Plagiarism.
am not the evil empire that cites previous works.
Answer what you want to answer. Tell us your woes.
Well, I guess I don't know what woes I have. I mean, horror is, to me, horror is existential horror. I mean, and I think I said this, Hitchhiker's Guide is the ultimate horror. Literally the entire planet is destroyed just because we didn't fill out a form. And there was a department where we could have filled out the form, but no one told us about this department.
Yeah.
So, this has been kind of an interesting topic for me of late. Okay, so there's a YouTuber that's probably wildly popular. His name is Wendigoon, and I started watching him for like icebergs, and then something else would pop up and okay, and got me turned on to analog horror, which I was like, this is weird. I like it. But some of the stuff that he finds scary, I'm like, I don't find this scary. I find it interesting, but not scary. Like there's one where the guy has a video, it's, and it's all like CGI. Like this guy's CGI work is incredible, by the way, but there's this giant staircase and it just keeps going and going and going. Then it kind of like turns and it keeps going and going and going. And you're like, what the fuck does this lead to? And I can feel this sense of what is this? And you're under the ground and it's so deep. And okay, I'm with us. And then it's like a deserted mall. And it's so weird. And then like he leaves and he comes back and he finds himself trapped in it. And it's interesting, but I don't find it scary. And he found it scary because you're trapped in it and you're underground and all that. And I'm like, yes, I can see being in the situation and there's a little bit of a jump scare with the quote monster and it's all that. But it's more existential. It's not.
But dude got trapped in his own damn mall.
Well, it's not even, and that's, yeah, like the whole point of it is like.
It depends on
well,
what
and
you
he
find
never
scary, because I
the
know
guy
people
doesn't
that would be terrified by being underground and by themselves and not knowing where they are
with the
and all that
monster.
stuff.
Well, and
That
he kind
doesn't
of
frighten me. That
and he
doesn't-
technically died, and they don't explain it. But then he's not dead. But is he? It's very weird, and it's all that. Did he die? Didn't he die? And part of me goes, it's interesting, but I don't want to sit here and have to brain through did he die, didn't he die? Like that's not horror to me. Interesting, yes, and it has a great backstory. And it was very interesting, but not scary. The same guy did another one called Back Rooms, which I find but it's a sci-fi scary. It's basically conceptually like instead of cloud storage, you could really walk into it. It's like pocket dimensional type of shit. You could go into it and you could store things and you wouldn't have to worry about overpopulating. It has as many floors as you want. It has as much space as you want. You can build forever because it's unlimited space, just like a cloud storage would be type of thing, right? But then there's these things that are like monsters that are in there because you've basically torn through reality. Like you shouldn't do that shit. And it's creating holes. And then there's the concept of it's creating holes in time as well. How bad are these holes? Are they getting worse? And I loved it, but I don't know that, like, is it traditional horror? No, but I loved it very much. Really interestingly, the guy actually got so popular with this, it got so many views that was it Apartment 23, A23? It's a distributor, a movie producer company. They make a lot of like
A24 is a producing
A24. There you
company.
go. That's it. A24. They've picked him up. He's doing a movie based on the Backrooms for them that's supposed to come out next year. So, like, apparently it's wildly popular, and this turned into a whole other side set, which is sort of horror, but also maybe not. So called SCPs.
Well, I mean, if it's A24, I'll probably see it next year. I mean,
you probably will, but if you want to get a jump start on the craziness of this, it's called Backrooms, and his name is something. Oh, son of a gun! I will find his name. But I absolutely love that. I don't know. As a GM, gore is one of those things where, like I said, I like it in movies. I do, but as a GM, I have found that less is more. And I'm not talking about less gore. I'm talking about less me telling you what it looks like. I will tell you it's bad. I will tell you things like, I want you to go there in your head, and then I want you to go 2 steps farther. But I'm not going to tell you where it is or what 2 steps farther looks like. I find that the more I let you fill in, the more you challenge and push yourself with it, that you'll go as far as you want to go, and it looks different for everybody, and I don't have to push it. Does that make sense?
yes, it does.
Yes, and I think that that's a good thing, honestly.
But I think that players are more scared by things that, I mean, so much like Morgan's character, it ties into his backstory. There's a lot of buildup. It didn't just show up there. It basically starts with his fate. I just want you to talk to me. Why won't you talk to me? Right? And then it gets worse and worse and worse until you get that. And then when it looks like this little boy's head, that similar coloring to yours, and but it's not. Right? And there's kind of that, you can feel the moment where they kind of, oh, okay. But it is a human heart. God damn it, Andi, right? Like, and at least with Changeling in World of Darkness, you have that expectation. I find with things outside of World of Darkness, it's all about your timing with it. I've had entire games where a year will go by, 2 years will go by, and nothing scary really happens. Nothing gory, nothing horrendous. And then all of a sudden, and the longer and the funnier, the more that the horror matters, the more that it seems to actually affect the players.
The harder it hits.
Yeah, the harder it hits. And it doesn't matter if I warn them from the get-go. On occasion, I can go a little dark. Nobody believes me because it's all lighthearted and funny, right? We have arachnids. It's all good. It's safe here. We can laugh. And then it's not so safe. And you know you have them hooked when they just start looking at you like you grew a second head. That is when you know, as the GM, you have them where you want them. And I like toying with that. I like playing with it. I like trying to see if I can get them to picture it in their heads. If it pushes their character, right? But I don't know if I like it just for no reason. If that makes any sense? It has to matter in the game. Or I think, again, it's that whole, it loses effect. Too much, it loses effect. If it doesn't matter, it loses effect. Again, could be me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does it have to matter?
It helps.
Do you find that it has to be something they're not expecting, that you have to like...
Yeah, to me that...
Okay, really quick. Dire Sith, psychological then. For gaming, horror seems to imply some supernatural aspect that isn't easy to confront. And that's why I like taking stuff that's actually real and then twisting it, because I think it affects them even more when they realize it's based on reality and that 90% of this was an actual thing. And they just have this
Yeah,
what the hell land.
that for me, I would disagree with Dire Sith Lord about.
Okay.
For me, psychological can be something. It doesn't have to have a supernatural aspect to it. To me, there's the supernatural, and that can be scary and frightening in and of itself. But for me, psychological is the whole. Well, you thought you were safe, and now you're fucked.
It's like, here is the wall,
Because you're
but,
not just exactly.
all
You're
of a
not
sudden you're on the other side of that wall, and it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, you're not just playing with, well, is it a ghost or is it a vampire or is it at that point you're playing with, like, are you
That's
sane?
the head in the
Does that make
box.
sense?
That's the head in the box.
And
That's the
that-
oh gosh.
yeah,
and then there's the oh, but it's really not. And you have that letdown. And then when you really think about the fact that one, it's a human heart. And you don't want to think about, is
Yeah.
that the size of an adult or not? You don't want to think about it. And two,
Yeah.
the fact that whatever this Fae did in the real world could fool you into thinking it was something different.
Yeah.
That's what
So that's
gets
why
them.
I have to unback. But then again, this is why I don't play horror stuff. I have a tendency not to. And Andy, please don't get me wrong. I love listening to your games. I love being a fly on the wall and sitting in the corner and, you know, watching the players' reactions when you run games and stuff. I would have no problem sitting at your table. I would definitely go in with the knowledge that at some point, if I was there long enough, there would be a storyline or something that would make me go, and now I need to take a break for a while. Does that make sense? And there's nothing
And
wrong
that's
with
fine.
that.
Just let me know that I made you cry. That's all I need. No, I'm kidding.
I know.
that will warm the cockles of Andy's warm dead heart.
Right?
Or
Yeah,
cool,
but that's not-
one of
Here's
those
the thing.
things.
I will
Yeah.
also tell you, this is one of those.
That's not my issues.
And I
That's
think
my
that
personal.
Lady Styx knows me long enough and well enough. The players that get that type of treatment, they have asked for it, sometimes in their
Yes.
own way, by sending me little bits because they want me to take those leads, or this is kind of the SA rhymes with ape type of thing that I don't know if we're allowed to say or we'll
Yeah.
get demonetized. I don't know. We don't
Yeah.
even get money, but there was a thing about, well, you can never have that in gaming. I'm like, you can if the player suggests it. And they're like, what? No player would. I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, has happened.
Yeah, I've played in games that have that. Yeah.
And the person wanted to work through stuff, and this was a way for her to do that. And you get to shut up and you don't get to say how somebody else does it or how some other table handles it. I would I on my own just pull that out of a hat and be like, ha ha ha? No. But part of my job as a GM is to take the players' leads, and if they put the breadcrumbs there, they want me to go there. So here's the thing, for like Lady Styx, she would not put the breadcrumbs there. She wouldn't lead me to the I want to be tormented by whatever, right? She wouldn't.
Well, and literally is, just literally being led to someone else's internal screams is like, holy fucking crap.
Yeah.
It can be if it's done right.
I'm just, yeah. I mean, it's not even, the GM leading you to someplace. It's someone else's place you're going to.
Well, and that's it. And the thing is again, I feel like as a GM, it's partially my job to let you take it where you want it to go. I mean, we're telling a group story, but that means you guys have influence, the players have influence.
Yeah, but
I've always...
There are moments where it's like someone else's holy crap, and you're like, whoa, I did not sign up for this.
I will say that most tables I've been involved with, I will not say all of them, involve people who are all friends. And the thing is that I know that nowadays they have to have this whole formal session 0 stuff, and I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but in the old days, if it went too far, you said, "Hey, too far for me." Or if you're afraid that it might be going too far, you would stop and go like, "Hey, wait, time out. Out of character, we all good? Okay, cool, back in." Right? Like,
I mean,
we
I
did
can
that.
just say that 20 years ago, we were like, holy fuck. And, I mean, no one was like, are you all good? We
Yeah.
were just all
I
like,
have had
holy
tables.
fuck, and this is
So
not
sorry.
a
I have
good
had
day.
tables even 20 years ago where things went, we're good, right? Yep. Okay. And we went right back into it. But
Well, I
I
think
am not
you
the
were at better
not
tables
just,
than I was 20 years ago.
and
Go
maybe
you.
it's because I'm a girl, and that because I was a girl, there were tables even 20 years ago that were more co-ed, and maybe girls are just how girls are, and we're a little different. That could be. But sometimes it wasn't horror. It might be two character. Okay, I had a character. I was not the GM, and my character was getting involved with another player character who happened to be the GM's significant other. Okay. So the out of character GM's boyfriend, his player character, and my player character were getting very involved. And there was, it was always cutscene. It was PG-13, like it might get to a, and it was very charged at points. And like, we're all good, right? And she just laughed her ass off. She thought it was great. She's like, "Oh my God, you guys are so into this right now. Your characters are so involved." And she thought it was fantastic. Nobody, but there was, everybody's good. Everyone's fine. Cool. The rest of the table, anybody like, do we need to dial that back? Is everybody fine? I will say, usually those tables had more than just me at the table that was a girl. There was usually at least one or two other girls at the table. So maybe that matters. Maybe all male tables don't do that. I don't know. I've never been at an all male table because if I'm there, it's not all male. Unless you count me as a guy, and I'm okay with that.
I think though too that something that I am consciously aware of because I've been at tables where it's occurred and not been handled that well.
What? I expect
And
adults to be adulty adults? Fuck. Again
but
with my
wait.
crazies.
Let me finish, Andy.
Okay.
You trip something that you're not even aware of, and all of a sudden you're just drowning in someone's personal fear or personal issue in a way that like maybe they weren't even aware it was going to be triggered that bad. I know I was in a World of Darkness game and we were in a sewer. Nobody saw anything of it. What's in sewers? Rats, spiders and rats, right? Not a big deal, except for one of the players, it happened to be a guy, had a thing about rats, didn't realize it was going to set him off. The game ended up being called because he was blubbering in a corner because he could not stand that his character, who supposedly had no issues, was covered. That you were walking through rats. He, as a player, couldn't handle that. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
I'm gonna say something, and it's going to be very unpopular. Something's wrong with that dude. I have never in my life seen anything like that happen at the table. And quite frankly, I get that, but I would think that maybe something like he needs to talk to somebody. If,
Yes, he did. But the other thing too was, and this got
but
repeatedly discussed, the GM pushed it way too far. Like the GM was not willing to hear, I have an issue with this, can slow your roll or whatever. Oh no, he basically tortured this player to get the player to that point. Like, oh, this bothers you? Well, then let's just dive in deeper. And it
that's
was not,
dickish. That's dickish.
it was very dickish. It was not okay. But there are definitely players and GMs out there that are like that. We don't want to play with them usually. Definitely not more than
Um,
once.
I mean, I
But
wouldn't play
sometimes
with a
you don't
GM who acted
know
like
about
that.
that. Sometimes you don't know about that though till you're actively in a game, and that was what this situation was.
Here's the
Been
thing,
with
but
for
okay, but I'm going to say
8
something
months. It
again
hadn't been an issue.
unpopular. But if it was noticeable that this guy's like slow your roll and that the GM is being a dick, how come nobody else said, "Hey, he said slow your fucking roll"? Because see, part of it is
Yeah.
I played with friends. I expect everybody at the table, we're friends. We don't be dicks to each other. It's crazy, but back to that
Yeah.
adulty thing. And so let's bring it back to Erton. Erton, one of the fundamental aspects is the horrors. And yes, I mean, okay, I made the 16-year-old cry in Poland, right? I wanted it to be emotional. I wanted it to be pointed. I wanted them to be invested and to feel something and for it to be so awful. Because the second half of it was, and now you go and you redemption. You kill the monster. And without a good low, you can't have a good high. And it's basic of storytelling, right? I know you haven't, Lady Styx, played as much. I think, Dire Sith, you've played Erton. I mean, we're in the same age range, so I'm going to say you've played it probably as long as I have. Maddie, I know you play.
I have played it since the 90s, so...
Yeah, and Mr. P, I know. So, how far, I mean, like, what horrors do you like? Do you want them to be more psychological? Do you want it to be more gritty? You know, I went through and the horror set the whole thing up, left an aspect, using this to feed off of. It would, yes, it's in the water. It affects the children. Like, it's meant to be, right? Like, almost damn near John Wick and I killed your dog. Like, I want you to be invested. How far?
So I expect if I'm playing Earthdawn that the horrors are going to be multifaceted and absolutely are going to be psychological. That it's absolutely going to be in there. That's like that's how they feed. That's how they do their thing. So there'll be physical aspects, but it's more than that. They're very
they can be
it's not a
complete
jump scare
horrors,
horror.
but cute and huggable at the same time.
Exactly.
I mean, I do have an entire story based on Monty Python's Killer Rabbit.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like, Jurassic Park jump scare horrors. Is that frightening? Yes, because it could eat you. They're much more than that. They are very developed, in my opinion, in my experience in playing and what my expectations of that game was. It's the same as if I'm playing Cthulhu, I have a very distinctive expectation of what that is going to be.
Cthulhu,
right?
you expect to die and bring another character just in case.
Exactly. And not only am I going to die, but like, how crazy am I going to go before I die? Right?
Oh, how many can I take down before I go?
Yes, exactly. I mean, like.
So what horrors?
But I think that.
What horrors were memorable? Maddie, Mr. Pink, Dire Sith Lord. I mean, it doesn't have to be an official one. Is there something from a game that you ran or that you played in that you were like, that is the one that I still remember to this day? That was scary. That was a scary concept, scary monster, scary horror.
Someone else go first. I got to get my camera.
I'm sitting there going through my memories, and
while you are going through that, one of the 1879 ones, and I don't know that it scared the players because I had just really introduced conceptually this big bad. And one of the things that she was doing was she was experimenting because, again, 1879, that time period, they were learning about biology and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and all of that type of stuff, right? And it's the one where I ended up with the, you know, werewolves and all that. And she had got a hold of this werewolf, had him trapped, and was running tests on him, even though he's in human form and he's a human. And I was going to do much worse with her. I don't remember if I got to. I might still. Maybe I just haven't gotten there yet, in case they're listening. Dun, dun, dun. But for me, the fact that someone is so evil that they can look at a human, watch them, and literally torture them, quote, in the name of, you know, scientific advancement, right? I find that awful.
Well, and the one that my brain is going to right now is one where we were literally in the Star Wars universe. And for anyone here who has watched a bunch of Star Wars, you have a certain level of expectation. We were playing in the Star Wars universe against an alien type opponent. We were so fucked from the beginning, we didn't know it was coming.
I will say you have a point there, because at least in Urton you expect there to be horrors. I don't expect necessarily horror in Star Wars. Star Wars tends to be more light, fantasy, space.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, we were in the alien universe, and we were told we were playing a Star Wars-ish kind of game, and it's like, whoa. You know, we're 6 weeks in, and it's like, oh, this is not good. And I mean, that was, you know, a brilliant job in the selling of what we were getting. I mean, they were literally playing us as players.
So out of curiosity,
before we started playing the game,
is that okay to do to players? Like, if I sell you on, this is going to be rainbows and bubblegum and lighthearted fantasy. It's the Star Wars universe, you wouldn't even consider it.
That depends on knowing your players. And this was one where the person running it knew their players well enough to do this without,
again, like,
you know,
how it used to be in the
burning
old days,
bridges.
where you're all friends and, you know, we just expect you to say I'm not okay and people to respect it. So I can see that. I did get told,
But I mean,
for
I can
newbies,
fully see where bridges would have been burned on that one too. But
if they didn't know it, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, and I admit to liking certain things that are okay. And a friend of mine turned me onto it, and I absolutely adore it. And sometimes you need to borrow it, Lady Styx. It's a comic book called I Hate Fairyland. And it's the cutesy bubblegum. It's very brightly, like neon brightly colored. Very cheerful, brightly colored. You know, the little girl goes into fairy fantasy land, and she's going to go on an adventure, but something went wrong, and she didn't finish the adventure, so she gets trapped in fairyland, and mentally she ages, but she's stuck in this little girl's body, and thus she hates fairyland, and she is more like Deadpool. There's some like very Deadpool-esque kind of violent gore aspects clashing with the cutesy little girl with the curls, right? In this very bright, cheerful, neon, psychedelic Alice in Wonderland film. But I like that I like that genre bend. I find that fascinating, that playing with. So Star Wars and not expecting the horror, I don't know. Like, I think I might have liked it. Maddie?
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, with that, you know, I mean, if you walk into one expectation and get hit with another, that is sometimes where the horror comes in.
And that's it. I
The
mean,
unexpectedness of it, yeah.
The fact that it's completely left-handed, or our left field. It's just, yeah. It's the 2 years of nothing that scary, and then all of a sudden, what the fuck, Andi? Like, it has more punch because you didn't know that it was there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said, I usually warn players if they're new to me that like I can go but part of the problem is I play the long game. So, like I said, it can be 2 years in and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And most people don't take the time to get 2 years in to have that moment. And I will sometimes. But I like longer games. I like epic lengths and things like that. Maddie, are you back?
Just got back.
I don't think. Oh,
Yay.
awesome.
All right, Maddie. Favorite horror?
This one.
I'm going to
Dag
be
Frog is just
stupid.
so fucking cool.
He kind of reminds me of the big monster in Adventure Time. I'm the only one who
Really
knows.
bothered watching.
Oh, actually, it seems really dumb, but the more you get into it, the more you realize it's not. And it's actually really good, which is part of what I
Yeah.
liked about it. It
But
was unexpectedly cool.
I like a lot of the people who are involved in it. It's just I couldn't get into it. I bought the
I
first
couldn't
season
either,
on.
Maddie. Don't
I
feel
bought
bad.
the
I
first
could
season
not
on
either.
Blu-ray, and I got like halfway through it, and I'm like, no, this isn't for me. But yeah, so while you were all talking, I ran off to take a photo with some of my little toys,
I like it.
including yeah.
Let's see if I can get that to open the picture.
Dagthrug is absolutely my favoriteest thing out of the Vasgothia book.
I like it. Let's see if I can do this. Although I will say that the one that gets me in Adventure Time isn't the one. It's actually, and I guess this would be psychological. Lady Styx, the character, the Ice King. He gets a hold of this magic crown, and he's trying to use it to save people and to help people. But the more he uses it, the more it's slowly turning him mad, until he's so mad that he can't take it off. And he loses himself. He forgets himself. He doesn't remember who he was or his history. And
Yeah.
they eventually bring in
that's
a
the ultimate magic
it
item.
Oh, it gets
boogeyman, right?
It's a beautiful cursed item. And there's a woman he had been in love with, and she didn't know what had happened to him. And when she found out, she was trying so hard to save him, to figure out how to save him. And her solution is just about as awful. She basically comes up with the solution of stealing the crown and wearing it herself so that he will go back to being him. But it means that it's almost Lady Hawk. Either he can be him or she can be her, unless they can find somebody else. And neither of them want to harm anybody else by making them have the crown. But if she has the crown, she loses herself and forgets him. If he has the crown, he loses himself and forgets her. So it's beautiful and sad. And dear God, can you imagine trying to do good and using this thing, even though you kind of know it's cursed, but something else happens and you want to save the little girl or you want to do whatever, right? And you just keep losing more and more of yourself until you're just not there anymore. And you want something, because really in truth, he was always searching for the woman he loved. He just couldn't remember her or who he was or any of that. And that's why he's running around trying to kidnap princesses, right? And then the solution is that you now can remember her and yourself, but you lose her.
Exactly.
It's very dark and very screwed up in a lot of places.
And I find that kind of conundrum horror,
and it's for little kids.
I kind of deal better with it than some of the other types of horror that most people think is more okay. I don't know. Yeah, like that doesn't, because it's, I don't know. This is one of those topics that, since you and I discussed it as a potential topic for doing this, it's been running in my brain. It's definitely been taking up real estate almost nonstop. So yeah.
This is the worst
But
part of Earth Dawn. Like they spell like elder gods too. You can't spell any of those damn things. I'm just saying. I'm bad at spelling.
You can't type them easily.
See, I just spelled it wrong. But Maddie's always right. That's probably why he can do it. I think for me, one of the things I've always liked about Earth Dawn is that horror aspect. And I think it's one because it's that genre bend. We're all wonderful heroes and we're going to go and kill the monster, and nobody's afraid of the monster because we're heroes and we're going to defeat that. And we're going to get stuff, and we're going to like get new stuff, and we'll sell that stuff, and we'll get new stuff, and we'll kill something else. But they're not afraid of it. They don't sit there and think about the cadaver men and or zombies, or players don't think about that as scary. And Earth Dawn goes, oh wait, but you need to. You need to think of it as scary. Because it gets worse. Allow me to show you worse.
Well, and whether or not it gets worse, it's going to slowly consume you starting from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, that first bite taken from you is the cadaverman.
And so but that's it. That's why I've always liked Earth Dawn. I tend to actually not like tables of Earth Dawn, and I finally got to play 4th edition online not that long ago. But in the old days, especially, I don't like tables who never bring it up. If you just wanted to be all la la la, we're going to kill the monster, la la la, we got new stuff.
Well, it
loses what makes it special.
I mean, la la la, we're going to kill the monster. It's why you have the Dragon's Handbook. And, I love that handbook. But, la la la, we're going to kill the monster is not why you have an entire horror's handbook.
I know. But tell me you haven't played at an Earth Dawn table where that's how they acted. They acted as if it's cutesy high fantasy. We're all heroes. And they put something very, on level that you can easily defeat and pat yourselves on the back, and then they just go on. And I've sat there, I've seen tables, I've played, I usually leave, but I'll come up with a nice excuse so nobody feels hurt, but they don't get out the horror handbook, they don't push the issue, and it ruins it for me because it's Earth Dawn.
Yeah, I mean, that is my opinion. And, my opinion does not agree with a large chunk of tables.
And I just want to be like, but this is what makes, my opinion. Maddie, what do you think? I think it's what makes Earth Dawn special in some respects. A big respect.
I have no strong opinions on this, sorry.
Are we shocked? Maddie doesn't have a strong opinion. What did you do at Maddie? You bring him back, pod person. Bring back Maddie.
Well,
nice.
I am being nice. I want the pod people to bring him back. I didn't say damn good.
It's morning. Bring Maddie eggs and pancakes.
No, I haven't had breakfast.
Yeah.
See?
That's what's happened. Maddie needs to eat breakfast.
Lunch now.
I said eggs and pancakes. I don't care what meal that is. Everyone likes eggs and pancakes. If you don't like eggs and pancakes, there's something fucking wrong with you. And yeah, we don't like you. But beyond that,
You're a horror.
Well, then
New
there's
horror
something
design.
half wrong with me.
This is what we need to. I need to sick one of the new freelancers.
On creating a horror.
Make it create horror that goes
the horror
after
that doesn't like eggs and pancakes.
name givers that don't like eggs and pancakes.
Pancakes.
Yeah, look,
That's
I wrote it down
it's
so I'll
so
remember. Maddie, at least tell me you love that idea.
Well, as someone who actually does not like eggs in any form, it's been nice knowing you.
See, Maddie at least accepts his fate.
Yeah,
I'll
but
just
you
get
have
in
to
my big
fight your
spaceship and
fate.
fly away.
Oh, yep. All right.
Well, but see, Maddie may accept his fate, but Maddie is also in fucking Australia, so he can't touch it.
He's got enough things to try to go after him every day just by living in Australia.
Again, you know for a
Why
fact.
do you think the emu war started?
So, ask
Someone
Lady
wants
Styx.
omelets.
If I find out that I have like a terminal illness, what's my main plan to get to end this quick? She should know this one. It's a one-way ticket to Australia.
Yep.
I'm gonna start with punching a great white off the Great Barrier Reef, and then go
then
from
she's
there.
gonna go on.
Worst case scenario,
And
I'm
then
just gonna
it's gonna
start
be
putting my
somewhere else.
tongue on everything. Something is poisonous and will kill me. I'm just saying. One-way ticket to Australia.
Punching a great white will scare it off.
I don't want to scare it off. I want it to
Yeah.
eat me. That's okay.
So
Number
don't
2
start
is
with-
saltwater
don't start with
sharks.
that.
Or
The answer
saltwater
is you punch
crocs.
the kangaroo. You punch the kangaroo, and then you give yourself a paper cut in the water for the shark.
But I'm
I mean,
one-way
punch
ticket to
the
Australia.
Kangaroo will get your ass kicked.
Yeah, that just
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
like it'll hurt, not kill me. I want it to kill me.
No, kangaroos have got like razor sharp claws.
Yeah, they can gut you like
They will disembowel
Yeah.
you.
Do they
Yeah,
do that?
they're nasty. Yes, they can do that.
I don't know. The closest I've ever
Get
been to a
yourself an
kangaroo
Eastern
is
grey.
way, way far away at a zoo. Like that's
No, they're not. They're fucking everywhere.
well, that's
Well,
close I've
not
been.
here. They're everywhere. Here, not so much.
I hear different in Florida.
Yes, there are some. They're kind of like camels in California. There were some that have gotten out and have started propagating themselves, but the alligators do kind of keep them down a little bit.
Wish you could say
But
the
see, in
same
Florida,
for
it's
snakes
the
and
boa
iguanas.
constrictors and the pythons that keep everything else down. I mean, they're
Yeah.
keeping the kangaroos down too.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It is a thing.
Oh, do not fuck with the foreign snakes in Florida.
Yeah.
Well, we are so educational.
That's great. Did you want to talk a little bit
Yeah.
about horror in space?
I do. Do we want to
I
do
do,
that
actually.
tonight, or do we want to start next week that
I
way?
mean,
Well-
that would be a next week topic because we've passed 9:00. But
I would stay
with
for this.
Florida,
I'm just saying. Go ahead back to
with
Florida.
I mean, you don't hear about all of the weird, standard creepy American shit just because it has all been eaten by the foreign invader species.
That's just true.
I have some friends in Florida who discovered recently that we have fire ants in Australia, and they're like, "Wow, is it real?" I'm like,
Fire ants suck.
yeah.
They must have
There's
come.
some
They
things
must have come
we
over
don't
in a
fucking like
shipment.
either.
Yeah, they must have come over in a
They did.
shipment of tires or
About-
something.
In 2002. Yeah.
I found out about fire ants
There are
in
animals
Texas.
out there that even Australians don't like.
Yeah.
They're like just too much even for us.
They're just
That's
mean. It's like red wasps. Red wasps are mean. Mean-spirited things. Okay. See, I want to hear about
I'm
it.
in the chunk of America where it's cold enough 6 months out of the year that we don't give a fuck about the rest of you guys.
Oh, no. We don't
Your
get cold
horrors
enough
just
for
don't
things to
show
kill
up here.
bugs. Yeah. Okay. Lady Styx. Do you have to run off?
Yes. Unfortunately, yes. I have.
All right, we are
a commitment for
starting.
tomorrow, but I-
Maddie, are you going to be here next week? Because we're starting with you if you are.
Mhm. Man,
Maddie, you turned into a robot.
I do that sometimes.
Okay.
And your internet's still better than mine.
Okay, that is not a big bar to get over.
I know.
So what were you
Yeah,
going
I
to
should
ask?
probably be in next week.
You're going to be what?
Let's do horror in space next week.
I think we're starting with Maddie.
Everyone's homework is eclipse phase.
Eclipse
Ooh, I've got that on my shelf.
phase.
Yes,
It's a
I have
movie?
2 editions of that on my shelf. I feel bad.
All right,
Movie or
so-
book?
Oh, if it's on the
game.
shelf, they're both books.
I have to read a whole book by next week.
I'm
If
guessing
there's
I
sex in
have
it,
edition
because I don't know if I want to read
and
it if it doesn't have
edition
sex.
It's a role playing.
Okay, then
game.
Andy,
you can
there
have
is
sex in it
there.
if you want.
Keep reading
Okay.
until you find it.
It's a role-playing book. Okay. All right.
I will look it up, but I make no promises.
All right. So we're going to do Maddie in Space Horror Edition. That's next week. And then the one after that's the 30th. So we've got to come up with something really fun and really cool to do. I think we should tell ghost stories.
What is the worst thing you can do to candy?
Microwave it.
And it is not candy with a Y. We're talking candy with an I, the stripper.
Oh, well, you're
Okay,
supposed
that
to
would be
kill her
funny.
and leave her in a dumpster. Yes.
See?
See? That is what we're doing, right? That's it.
You turn the game into a drinking game where you kind of see how many times she does the stupid things. Like, is that a chainsaw? No, wait, we can go through the door. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And they take a drink. She makes it. Yeah.
Am I
The
going to
evil
walk
campaign?
backwards through the basement with a candle?
Yes, exactly.
The Evil campaign, one of the players in the Evil campaign that I did years and years ago, right? Basically suggested that after they drug this woman and SA rhymes with, right? That they eat her and referred to it as cream filled.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That player got told that they couldn't talk for the rest of the night. They were done. No more. No more speaky. But remember, everybody
that
was
sounds
young,
like
and I think that part of the game for them was saying stuff that was so horrible that I just went.
They couldn't say it anywhere else.
But
Yeah.
here's the good thing. Now, players cannot shock me. Like, it is almost impossible, because how are you beating that crap? I'm saying.
And they're done worse. You're not even on the grid yet.
Really?
Shut up.
Okay, I got to hear it. What do you got that's worse?
No, I was just listing that as your response.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, no, that is my response. That is absolutely my response. Guarantee
While
it.
I am sure I have probably done something that qualifies as worse, I do not off the top of my head know what it is.
I will tell you right now, I don't know that I've ever said worse than that. I think I'm still
Yes, Maddie,
blinking over
I
that.
agree. Maddie, I agree. Florida is a horror setting. Because if you have trouble, all you have to say is Florida man, and you know something crazy's going to happen.
Or Florida Man is going to save you from the weirdest shit you've ever been in. One of the two.
Yes. Anyway,
All right.
we should wrap this up and then
All right.
go
So,
from there.
oh, I put that on the wrong thing. That's our homework. All right. I got to fix that really quick.
I might run a movie on Sunday night too.
Ooh, what time?
If people
I'm
are
in.
interested. Usual movie time.
Okay.
Yeah, if you post it, let me know, at least by midday Sunday, and I will probably show up.
17th, 18th, 19th, which was the 20th for you, but 19th for us.
I will probably need that.
Yeah, and if you let me know, I will likely show up just because movies. Yeah. Possibly no life outside of this, but hey, that could be a sided thing.
Hey, we're a fun life.
Hey, my husband got very upset with me that I did not tell him that That's a Movie Night was the movie it was, because he's like, we would have like stopped everything in the house, set it up on our big screen, and watched it as a family for Fast Movie Night. And I'm like, I missed the title. I'm sorry. If I'd known, I would have hollered at you, and you could have come in, and we would have done that. But it's a thing.
They don't
So,
say
yeah.
the title. You have to figure out the title just by watching the movie.
Yeah, you're not
Sometimes
allowed
the
to put
movie
it.
will tell you its title within the 5 minutes. Sometimes you're like fucked for half an hour.
Exactly.
You can DM the title at people, but you can't put it in the channel where anybody can see it. You gotta just.
Yeah.
I'm actually concerned, by the way. I am concerned for next month because Dire Sith Lord is next month's. And that evil campaign, that SOB was in it. So, I have concerns. So many concerns. I'm still scarred.
Scarred by
Dire Sith Lord and the rest of that damn table.
Oh, okay. Well, then I can accept that.
It's not that bad, probably. We are also probably really lucky that Sarah has December, because I love really bad holiday horror and am big into it.
I'm just going to say Polar Express is the best Uncanny Movie Valley out there.
I had not seen that until like last year, and I don't know how I feel about that movie.
Creepy as fuck, isn't it?
It's like kidnapping and weird shit. I don't know how I feel about it.
The eyes are so dead.
Eyes are so dead. There you go.
It is the creepiest as fuck movie out there, and it's like, hey, this is the best Christmas. No, it's not. It's just, oh man, it just makes you want to melt inside.
You know what? That would have been my second choice. Not that movie, but it's the best version of Dickens ever. Scrooged.
Scrooge is good too.
I like that one so much.
For completely different reasons.
Very different reasons, but it would either be some sort of really screwed up, Black Santa, Black Christmas, Santa Claus, Krampus horror thing, or it would have been Scrooged. So we are probably all safer with Sarah. Hopefully, maybe.
You just live in that dream for the next 2 months, and then you'll have to shut up.
All right. I'm going to end this by saying goodbye, and then I'm going to let everybody say goodbye.
I'm going to second Andy's goodbye because I need to sleep because I'm supposed to work tomorrow, which really sucks. But hey.
But somebody has to pay
That's
bills.
my really sucks.
That's your October
Bye,
horror
guys.
stories. I went to work. Goodbye, Lady
Hey,
Styx.
Join us. Bye. Join us this Sunday for, freeform movies. And otherwise, we'll see you next week.
Hey, Andy,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
still supposed to be getting a gingerbread at in the next week, so ha.
Why you want to die? I liked you. Come to your house
I'm
and
still
rob
getting-
you. I know your address. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, but I know my neighbors, and yeah, good luck.
I don't know. I happen to be apparently. I don't know. I understand the bang bang sticks. Might even own 2. That at's mine. I'm just saying.
All right, guys. I'm going to be rude and head out.
All right, Maddie gets to say goodbye, and then we'll end it
Okay.
before I have to threaten Mr. Pink anymore.
Have a happy Friday, everyone, working or not.
Andy, I don't even care as much about the at. What sold me on that was the gingerbread Vader.
Okay, I can see that. But I will say goodbye one last time, where this is Radio Free Freedonia, where occasionally we threaten our official or unofficial co-host because he's getting a gingerbread at and you're not. Night, everyone.
So,